Nimrod is humbly asking for the state of Mississippi.
This is Dusty Basement Studios, and we approve of this message.
Right. Bro, you a genius. I ain't gonna lie. This is like, bro, you was a genius. I swear. You're gonna go down like a Elijah Muhammad or a Malcolm X with this. You finna go down in history with this. I swear to God, bro.
Well, I'm their child. You know, we all their children.
Yeah, but bro, you know, you your own. You different, bro. I mean, to think of that. I mean, bro, this is genius. Like, I don't just say stuff just to be saying it. Like, I swear to God, bro, you are really on something to come up with this. I don't know how you came up with this, but this is...
Well,
how did you come up with that?
The Mississippi Campaign represents everything that you claim that you want. The beginning of an all-black independent nation. The ability to control your own resources, your politics, the law. Be able to do your own thing for a change. Create an economy. Create and produce goods that Africa or anybody on the planet would want. You're fake, you don't want to do nothing. 3 hours talking about the Mississippi Campaign.
Let's see, Taalib says, can you send a shout out to my platform, the Realities Temple on Earth Internet Ministry? Our theme this year is After Purge Comes the Heal. So shout out to your platform, Taalib. All the best to you guys with continuing to stretch in perspective, to stretch in what is self and others. Yes.
Just keep it going. Black people, it's all about the unity. There's nothing they can do with us, so ain't nobody move with me. Like the king, we make it plain and simple. Bringing knowledge and fire and reality simple. Reality simple. My black people, it's all about the unity. There's nothing they can do with us, so ain't nobody move with me. Like the king, we make it plain and simple. Bringing knowledge and fire. Just keep it going.
Himself, and you don't realize it. You don't realize it, that God has been in prison. The devil was able to imprison God. So right inside your own self, your God self has been in prison, and you have a false sense of self running rampant inside the temple. This is why, you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
We have to bring reality temple here on earth. Reality temple here on earth.
Yes, sir.
We have to realize the enemy is running rampant inside this temple.
And that is Brother Taalib from the Reality Temples on Earth channel. And if you get a chance to subscribe, please do subscribe to his channel. He's a good brother. You know, he's doing good work, and he wants to do good constructive things. He has good information to provide. So please do check out his channel if you get a chance.
My brother Angel Snub 7 at the Reality Temple. And to give props to him, because I listened to all of Angel Snub 7's videos. I think that he comes from a different angle, and there's a powerful message in a lot of the videos that he put out, and I try to catch all of them. I look at him as a free thinker and a person that's willing to challenge those of which he don't agree with, or which he may think differently from, and I really respect him for that. He's challenged KNBS, and he has also challenged the Black Supremacy movement as well. And I have nothing against that, because that which cannot be challenged cannot stand, and will not stand, and will not survive the test of time. How many challenges we can withstand will determine how long we will be able to stand.
Just keep it going.
It can be so
bro, this is genius. Like, I don't just say stuff just to be saying it. Like, I swear to God, bro, you are really on something to come up with this. I don't know how you came up with this, but this is.
Well,
How did you come up with that?
Throughout the history of the United States, the construct of racism was created specifically to oppress black people, to try to suppress our determination to achieve liberation. Like Angela Davis said, it's built into the system.
Nowadays I can't believe what's going on in front of me. I don't want to watch TV and find another casualty. I don't want to read the news. My heart's already black and blue. I'm putting on my combat boots, 'cause I got an attitude. We're like soldiers forced to fight a war. What the hell? I can't take it anymore. 'Cause for so long we've been patient, now we're done. And don't you even ask me when did I become such an angry black woman.
We can't successfully put an end to racial discrimination until we change the entire system.
We've been trying to keep the peace 50 years since Martin King. Some don't like me for who I am, but I love my melanin. Another future college grad sleeping in a body bag. Mother screaming out her lungs, she never gonna see her son. We're like soldiers forced to fight a war. What the hell? I can't take it anymore.
Good evening, soul brothers and sisters. This is Tangi Cox, the Black Sheep, and I am propositioning you to entertain just a little while of being in reality. And this is gonna hurt, soul sisters and brothers, because a lot of us cannot accept reality. I empower you to, for 1 year, to subscribe to the reality temple on earth. And at the end of 12 months, draw your conclusion of what have you learned in that amount of time. I empower you. You will never, ever, ever think, feel, or entertain nonsense ever again, period. I would like to see my soul sisters and brothers awaken. This requires time. You need to spend about a year watching, researching, and looking. Reality Temple on Earth is life-changing, and I stand on that.
Ride, let's get this party started. Ride, let's get this party started quickly. Let's get this party started quickly. Let's get this party started. Ride, let's get this party started. Ride, let's get this party started quickly. Let's get this party started quickly. Let's get this party started. Ride, let's get this party started. Ride, let's get this party started quickly. Let's get this party started. Ride, let's get this party started. Ride, let's get this party started quickly.
The game begins in 3, 2, 1.
Peace forever and always, and welcome to another edition, spontaneous edition of what we call the Realities Temple on Earth Internet Ministry. I am the gatekeeper, the host of this program, known here on social media. Wherever you may find me, I am known as the mighty Angel Snub 7. I am your soul brother, number one. Okay. This is a spontaneous broadcast, and it was not my intent to, oh, here go our special guest. I think he's able to, I guess he's able to get in here. He's not coming in too good. He's not connecting. If you hear me, Brother Taalib, you're not connecting. Hold on a sec. We're having technical difficulties. This is, hey, how you doing there, Kenya? Thank you very much, Kenya. Shout out to Kenya. I also want to say that we are broadcasting, simulcasting on Realities Temple on Earth Internet Ministry YouTube channel, Realities Temple on Earth YouTube channel, Angel Snub 7 YouTube channel, and Realities Temple on Earth Internet Ministry Facebook channel and all its affiliates. We've got a lot of broadcasting. I also want to add, as soon as Rumble becomes free, we're going to stream free on Rumble. Today's broadcast is featuring special guest, Brother Taalib, who wants to bring us a message. So that's who we want to hear. We're having technical difficulties. Let's see. We might have to put him on speakerphone. The old standby speakerphone. Let's see what we can do here. Let's see what's going on. Because he's not coming through. He needs to try. It's not coming through. Let's see what's going on here. Standby technical difficulties beyond our control. Hey, you're not coming through. Try again.
Okay.
All right. I did an earlier premiere video. A premiere, the topic was, are black men, are we gods, kings? Are we strong? I noticed for some men, they couldn't handle it and they unsubscribed. They unsubscribed because they want unearned praise, unearned credit for being something they don't qualify, for doing nothing except sitting on their ass watching a YouTube video. You would think that it takes more than watching a YouTube video to call yourself a god or a king, or are you strong? I'm real with mine. I don't see the strength. I don't see the godliness. I don't see or we don't have a kingdom. We're not controlling, we're not ruling anything. And then when I say, or I suggest, let us use our political power and take control of a state like Mississippi. Here go Brother Taalib, I think. I think he finally come in.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
There he is. He finally made it.
Greetings to everyone.
Greetings.
How y'all doing?
All right.
Yes.
Hey, Brother Taalib, I wanna talk to you before you get into your talk, your conversation.
Yes.
Hey, what's up there, Nola, man? I saw a picture of you. I was trying to find it. It looked like you was with one of those daughters of Malcolm X.
Yeah. Did I send you the picture?
Yeah, I seen the picture. I posted it in the community section of Angel Snup 7 YouTube channel. So those, I was trying to.
Did it show me wearing a Nike long sleeve sweatshirt?
I believe so. I'm not really sure, so I can't say. But I posted the picture on Angel Snup 7 YouTube channel, the community page. So anybody that want to see that, anybody that want to see Brother Taalib's picture, go ahead and talk about it real quick, Brother Taalib.
I was here in Nebraska. They was doing a formal commemoration of Malcolm X, recognizing to people from the state of Nebraska, being that he was born here in Omaha, Nebraska, back in 1925, and of course, he made his transition on February 21st of 1965. Now, they decided to honor him with a statue. And so his daughter appeared there, along with some other family members of his and other supporters to help celebrate that. And so after, they had made it an official, commemoration of him with his statue that sits in the hall with other statues in the state capitol building, the people from Nebraska recognized for their contributions and influences in life and stuff like that. It was a real feeling moment for me, because it had really took them this long to honor him here in the state he was born in.
Mm-hmm.
I helped to share that moment. After that, we went to the Nebraska State Museum where they had, drinks and, and other amendables like food and stuff. We sit down and that's how I was able to get outside in front of that Nebraska State Museum to go anyway. So I caught her at the intel right before she was right about ready to leave,
yeah,
and stuff and everything. So, and just, it was a warming experience, just being in there for that, because it like I said, finally honor him.
Yeah.
Even the governor of Nebraska was there to give his introduction presentation on it, you know, all help to commemorate that moment in history, you know, and that he is definitely a prodigal son, a native son, and a prodigal son of Nebraska.
Yeah.
You know, so we had to, you know, honor him with that commemoration, and so I enjoyed it, you know, and I also got a chance to meet the great granddaughter of this guy who they have depicted in the statue down in Veracruz, Mexico, who was a anti-slave freedom fighter for his people down there. And she was like, I believe, a third generation granddaughter of his. And I even took a picture with her, and we had talked for a few minutes and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah.
So I think his name was Gasper. His name was Gasper something. I don't want to get it mistaken. His name mistaken, but his name was. I know his first name was Gasper, but he helped lead his people. You know, because you know they did have unquote African slaves in Mexico too. You know, so you know he fought. You know, to help free his people down there and that part of North America, you know. So, you know, it was a very warming moment, you know, to be able to, you know, be a part of, you know, and out of all the years that I've traveled to different places, especially even my native Detroit, Michigan, where Malcolm X spent a lot of time at before when he was Detroit Red and when he was Malcolm X, you know, I've actually graced, you know, different sites like the Old Nation of Islam temple, which was converted into a mosque by the followers of Muhammad Muhammad, who is the son of Elijah Muhammad. But inside that building is where Malcolm X actually taught at under the Nation of Islam teachings of Elijah Muhammad back sometime around the 50s, I believe, after he got out of prison, you know, and stuff. And I also Oratorio Museum, which they had tore down years ago. That said, he actually gave one of his very last public speeches prior to his assassination in New York City. So, you know, it was something, and I even reminded his daughter about that, you know. So, you know, and I also have graced locations where, one location I know where he had an office at in Harlem on the corner of 125th Street and on 7th Avenue and 125th Street. And if you go right around the corner, it's right across part of the building that's facing the Apollo Theater, which is right across the street from there. So, you know, Malcolm X, he definitely was a household name in Harlem. And I believe that's where his daughter up in New York somewhere, that's where she helps do most of the work at to keep his name relevant, you know, and stuff like that. So, you know, and plus that Audubon ballroom where he was assassinated, I believe they named that after him. I'm not sure. But they always having different functions, and even in commemoration of him, like right before she came here for that presentation, commemorating him and honoring him here in his birthplace in Nebraska. I saw her on there with this one other brother, and they was, you know, he used to be popular on CNN, and he also used to be a part of that TV news, that TV1 news broadcast before they had shut that down. It's like a black television news station.
Mm-hmm.
But he was a part of that, you know, and stuff. And he helped her, I guess, commemorate the life of Malcolm X. And I believe it was in that same exact building in his honor, where his assassination team, quite a few supporters, you know, from different parts of the country and locally that were there for him, you know, to help, you know, him celebrate his the commemoration of him for who he was and the work that he did do, and stuff like that. So, you know, that's for that. That was what that was all for. And I was very, you know, privileged to have even stood beside her and took that picture with her, you know, because out of all the years, you know, just from growing up as a child, looking up to Malcolm X as someone inspiring in my life, and as I look to other people inspiring, like, you know, he, you know, it was definitely a privilege to be able to meet his daughter and stuff, you know, so I definitely am glad that you even mentioned that, so that I could be able to share that with the audience.
Yeah.
And stuff like that, you know. And yeah, so yes, and shout outs to brother Denzel Washington. I see his name.
Denzel Washington.
Yeah.
Rogers.
I mean, I'm sorry. Yeah, brother Denzel Rogers. I apologize.
Yeah, I have to catch
Denzel Rogers. Yes.
Yeah, I have to catch myself too. So a lot.
Yeah. But anyway, yes. As for that, we're gonna definitely go into what this topic is, which I titled why should black folks you know, live and work around other black folks? That's what basically the video I titled it as. And for those of you who are not in the audience right now listening, you could go on YouTube when it shows up on Brother Angel Snup 7's channel to look at the live chat podcast, you know. But okay, so I'm gonna go in on what I need to say concerning this situation, or what I want to talk about, you know, because lately, you know, and see, I don't really want to get too emotional with this when I speak about it, because it can drive a person crazy. What I'm finna discuss with you as the audience about this afternoon. But I have been seeing a growing situation with the crime in my local area. Now, when I came here 10 years ago, I didn't hear too much about violence, you know, gun shootings and killings and all this other kind of stuff. Like it starts surfacing more here where I'm at. And the reason that it is surfacing more because of the unfortunate politics that's going on right now in our society, the economic situation, you know, where you got a lot of have-nots, and so that's stressful on itself. That's what helps generate crime anyway, no matter where any of us go. But the thing is that there are still differences in certain places across the board when you want to talk about this society as a whole. And I've been finding where, like myself, like I did some years ago, you still have black people that are leaving the big major cities, going either to the suburbs or relocating to, you know, smaller towns with lesser populations and stuff in places where they can actually feel more safe to live at and raise a family at, you know. And so this is why I decided to have the video titled in the way that I had just explained, because I feel like at this point in time, you know, many of us don't have a choice right now. You know, it is so much, you know, overwhelming violence going on amongst us. You know, and you know, I want to point out something too before I go further, because I know that you have those of us amongst the soul black community that's going to sit up and say that, well, white people are killing each other, Hispanics are killing each other, Asians are killing each other, you know, and so forth and on. But one thing we've always pushed from this platform is that we're not them different groups of people, okay? And also, too, we're not Native Americans, even though Soul people and Native American people in this country do share a common oppression when it comes to dealing with our 400 or 500-year-old oppressor in this nation. But at the same time, they still have their own ethnicity. They even know what tribes they came from. We don't even know what tribes we came from. Okay? We're still a product of slavery. And that's all we know. Regardless of how we try to, you know, twist it and all that kind of stuff, we're products of slavery. Okay? And that's just the bottom line to that. So that's what sets us distinctively outside the norm when it comes to our situation, and accordingly to how we deal with each other. There is truth in that, whether people want to believe it or not, because it's obviously working the way that, according to history of how it was planned out, the work, you know, and to keep us marginalized and oppressed as a group of people in this nation. So I would say that there is again truth to that. And you can see it working in all aspects, you know, of our lives, whether it's at work, whether it's in academics, education, whether it's in the church, in the mosque, wherever we find ourselves at, even whether it's in the entertainment, sports industry. As you can see, what happened to our fellow soul brother Sean P. Diddy, unfortunately, like what over recently ago happened to R. Kelly, you know. And yeah, I don't want to go into that subject because this is not the topic, but I will say P. Diddy may not be the last that we're going to see with this situation going on in the entertainment industry when it comes to us as soul people. You know, but it's still play the Willie Lynch mentality plays a part in it, whether we want to accept it or not. You know, and so we're so divided, and so you know, much to the point that this is why it's hard for us to even come together to try to form some type of kind of real unity bond amongst ourselves in this nation. Like I heard, piggybacking off a video, a premiere video brother Taalib made last night, where he was talking about even the LGBT community has more unity than we have. Even the women, Me Too, or the feminine movement, as far as women go, even they have more unity than we have. That's why things is getting done for them. That's why things is getting done for the LGBT community, whether we like it or not. But that's the truth of the matter. It's because they have a certain type of common bond with each other when it comes down to certain things. And we as soul black people don't have that. And so we choose to, you know, so we choose to, what we choose to do is we choose to hate on each other. We choose to sabotage each other. We choose to help ostracize each other. Something we always complaining about how the Caucasian or the races have done to us, but we do the same thing to each other. You see, and going back before what I said in another live broadcast is that we keep forgetting, or we got to learn to understand and remember that anything about us is done. Whatever we are, that's done. Okay? Anything about us is done. It's because of the color and pigmentation of our skin. But everything about soul black people in America comes straight from the Caucasian. Okay? Because that's our granddaddy, that's our grandmama, and that's our mama and daddy. Accept it or not. It's just the way it is. And when we're acting out the character of grandmama and granddaddy, this is the results we gonna keep continually getting. So, I mean, when I see, going back to where I started at, you know, when I see the crime rising in my local immediate area where I'm residing at, and stuff, and all I'm seeing is us killing each other, where you got majority of white people or different other people here, but it's still us being the ones pulling out the AR-15s or the 9mm Glocks, you know, busting caps at each other for whatever frivolous reason it is, more than likely. That says that continually we cannot live together and cohabitate together, you know. And like I try to tell people, just like an ancestor of ours named Nelly Fully Jr. once said, basically, if soul people cannot act civilized with each other, then we don't even need to say anything to each other. Mm-hmm. And that's still, and he said that, I believe, either in the 50s or the 60s. And that's still staying on true ground today, right, in 2024. Because of the indoctrinated mentality we have, you know. See, first of all, when we walk out our doors every day, we have to have our armor on. Just being a soul black person living in America, you got to be suited and booted and with your armor on anyway once you walk out the door. That look like us. The unfortunate truth is that you're going to probably get immediately quicker pushback even than you would from the racists. And that's what I'm seeing here. Okay? Like I said, whether it's on the job, whether it's in school, whether it's in the church, whether it's at the shopping mall, you know, wherever you go, you know, and you run into one of us, or especially on the street somewhere, you got to always constantly be on your guard. You got to have your armor on, because you don't know what to expect, especially from someone who has an over 400-year slave mentality, okay? Not right, you know, and out of respect for that person's anonymity, I'm not going to mention no names or nothing, but I will say this, even though I don't agree with him, but I will say this though, is that when he told me he'd rather go to jail and do a couple of days than to pay out whatever fines he need to pay these white folks, that really that part kind of made me concerned, because I've been in that mind frame I've been under that mind frame, that mental mind frame concept of being institutionalized, okay? Right. So I know what that's all about. Okay, so when he said that, and you know, I'm in my 50s and he in his early 40s, okay? He in his early 40s. And, you know, you would think even by that time he would have kind of learned some things from experiences like that, you know? And so it's like, when you telling me this, You're telling me that you'd rather take a chance and go to jail while you could still be free out here paying your fines off. You could be in there and you might not even make it out of there. See, here's the thing, because this person never been to prison, okay? But he's been to jail numbers of times. See, people, and especially us as soul people, we keep playing with these white folks, not understanding when you take a chance and end up catching misdemeanor charges, they don't realize that that could add up to felonies. They could turn them into felonies. They could say, oh, okay, you done caught too many misdemeanors, you a habituate. We gonna just upgrade this to a felony. Now what you gonna do? You see? Because once it become a felony, now you talking about the possibility, if you don't get probation or something, you talking about the possibility of looking at prison. Okay? So I mean, you know, we play these games with ourselves, not understanding the seriousness of this, you know, divisive criminal justice system we got in this country. Like they always say, it's two rules to each side. You got a different set of rules for white, and you got different set of rules for black. And that's what this criminal justice system in this country has always been predicated on since the inception of this nation. So when you get caught up in this system and you think you could keep playing with these folks, catching these little miscellaneous charges or these misdemeanor or high misdemeanor charges, then they gonna look at you and say, damn, you fall in the under the lines of being a habituate. You fall under the guidelines of being a habituate. So I mean, like I said, they could upgrade that to a felony. And up under them guidelines, give you as much time as they can. You know how many people going in prison right now because they got their charges upgraded from a misdemeanor to a felony? This ain't nothing to play with. You know? And from the way he explained his situation to me, he could have might as well, you know. So when he tells me that he'd rather go in there and sit in jail for a couple of days, ain't no way in the world. I told him, I said, man, ain't no way in the world I would do a second in there. And just, you know, and I'm much more battle tested than he is when it come to that. When I told him that I wouldn't even do a second, he claimed he understood that, but he said he got to do what he got to do. Okay. You know, that's all I could just say, you know. But at the same time, we got a lot of our people under that mind frame set of way of thinking. And so this is where you talk about the purge coming in. When you want to talk about separation amongst us. This is where the purge comes in now. It's like me and Brother Taalib had to purge all those phonies and fakes away from us. that wasn't, bringing any substance, real substance to this platform. That, that was just here to cause friction, division, and all this other crazy stuff, so people have a right. It's true. But also people have a right not to live around certain different type of people either. Even if they are soul brothers and sisters here in the hills of North America. So it's like they have a right if they want to. They have a right to go live in a small town, which is a more tight-knitted community and stuff, where they could feel more safe at, where they could feel more safe at raising their children or families at. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. We have a right not to be what they call the hood. We got a right not to be in places like that, especially if we could afford to move up out of them type of situations, and there are, low income places. Like it was a sister who once told me, that used to be on our platform, that once told me that even if you do get low income housing, you could go move certain places on the outskirts of town or the city, away from all the static, and stuff that be going on in inner cities where they ain't got nothing but ghetto hoods at and all that kind of stuff, So you ain't got to necessarily be rich to move to the suburbs. So that's what a lot of people are doing now. They're moving out the city. Mostly, and even though, I don't really get into too much of mentioning relatives, but a lot of them, where I'm originally from, have moved out of the city into the suburbs because, like I said, people want to live and feel safe where they live at. They want to be around people like them that's just trying to raise their families in peace. That's just trying to be, out the way of the drama. They ain't got drugs. So across the street from them, running a crack house where you see people running in and out all day long, running across state line next door to a trap house just to go get them some dope and all that kind of stuff. They ain't got to worry about their children going out in the backyard or the front yard playing without being caught up in the middle of a hailstorm of bullets flying back and forth past them. Because you got some idiots that want to just recklessly shoot it out with each other without understanding that it might be little kids in the way, playing in the front or backyard, or elderly people just sitting on their chair on the porch, minding their business, you know? So, I mean, this is the reason why I say that why should black people work and live around other black people? And it's unfortunate that there are many of these jobs out here, you know, especially in today's job market, where it's so much harassment going on, so much, you know, discrimination, as enough as it is, as well as racism going on these jobs and stuff, you know. You got, you know, even a lot of different types of personalities of people every day working around each other, you know, and stuff like that. And you got to go in there just like when you, and I hate to bring the term jail or prison up, but it's the true reality of it. It's just like going to jail or prison hoping you make it out alive in one piece. Because when you go into work, you got to deal with a lot of baggage, especially if you ain't trying to carry your outside baggage in to work. When you get ready to clock in, you still got to deal with other people's baggage or attitudes or personality or, you know, attitudes or whatever they got going on. And so you got to know how to navigate through that to be able to make it out of there at the end of the day when people get ready to clock out. You might not have a job anymore because you had to go off on somebody or you had to go off on the boss or something, you know, or because you got, you know, tired of people disrespecting you. So now you got to, this is the reason why. And like I was trying to tell that same individual one time that said he'd rather do time in jail than pay a fine, you know, I even was trying to tell him, well, we got brains for a reason. Use them. You know? And so when you go into these different environments like the work environment, you got to use your brain to navigate through the situation in order to come out in one piece and knowing that you're still able to hold a job. You see? Because it takes a whole lot to hold a job. Just like it takes a whole lot to be in a situation like in jail incarceration or prison incarceration to be able to survive, especially without getting your man or womanhood took in there or getting violated or something or getting possibly physically harmed in another manner. You know, it's basically the same thing. But enough as far as with that, all I'm just saying is that, you know, these are the realities that we have to deal with, especially when we come in contact with each other. And so, black people, this is what we got to deal with. And I'll be watching, I'll be paying attention, okay? Because since a lot of black people always want to say, well, white people do this, white people. Listen, I live here in a city, okay, that is predominantly white, okay? I see how they act and deal with each other. I see their daily movements and how they interact amongst themselves and with each other. And it's a whole lot different from the way we interact amongst each other. I see the same thing with the Hispanics, the Asians, even the African immigrants. the Arab or Mediterranean immigrants that's here. You know, they all have a different way to deal with it in a different way than how we deal with our issues. You see. And like I said, it comes from us having that slave mentality, frame mindset. It's why it's unfortunate that we cannot, you know, even come together. Like, for an example, with the Operation Exodus Mississippi Campaign Project, like I explained earlier. You had too many eyes in you, big eyes in yous. Too much ego involved. You had too much, you know, divisiveness going on. And when you got a situation like that going on, you got a lot of our people sometimes that just say to hell with it, you know. And those of you that's in the audience, you know, that's saying, well, you sound like you got a defeatist attitude. And I know you probably are saying that in the back of your mind or whatever, but see, at the same time, I'm just pointing out things to let you know why we are where we at internally and essentially. And this is what we got to address as we even work toward liberation at some point of time. We have to address these issues. We gonna have to. Because if we don't address these issues, then we might as well just consider ourselves in bondage or being in bondage permanently. If we do not ever address these internal issues, we might as well consider ourselves internally in bondage forever. You know? I mean, I could tell you another situation recently ago. I was talking to a brother while I was at work. He was a customer, okay? And so I just decided to chat with him for a few while I was working, right? And he explained to me, told him to do, just out of deep hatred, and it was out of, you know, like I said, it was out of hatred. That death definitely there spelled nothing but hatred. That death definitely there spelled nothing but self-hatred. Nothing but self-hatred. Even though I didn't know the brother, but self-hatred. Even though I didn't know the brother, nor had anything to do with that situation. Basically, you want to see him get fired. And why? Because either you was hating because you was afraid he was going to probably, you know, get promoted to take your position or something, or whatever the case is. And see, this is another reason going into what else I'm going to say is because you have black people who see other black people trying to progress, even like myself, you know, and they don't want to. And they don't want to see you progress in life. They don't want to see you climb up in life. So they're going to do anything and everything to try to sabotage you. Even like with the brother I was telling you about, who said he'd rather do a few extra days in jail than to pay a fine, you know? And this is what we're dealing with amongst each other. And this is why a whole lot of us are leaving the unquote black community, or so-called black community, because of this type of situation. Like I was trying to tell a relative on the phone yesterday about leaving big cities where it is more of a concentration of us at. You know, but people don't want to hear the truth, you know, because it's something about the truth that just don't sit too well with people, that they just can't deal with it. So they either let their emotions get in the way by blocking them from being able to see and recognize the truth for what it is, or they just can't take it, where they try to switch the conversation to something else. Or even, oh, I got to get off the phone, I got something to do, you know, that type of situation. Because they don't want to hear the truth. And see, when we got that type of attitude spread it throughout, you know, the so black, you know, community, this is the same results we're going to always keep getting, you know. And I want to also point out something else too, is that the same younger guy I'm talking about, I even told him this is most of some of our people amongst, I think now they say it's supposed to be 50-some million of us now, according to the recent census, I guess. But you know, this is the attitude that permeates amongst us as tens of millions of people in this nation. This is what the type of attitude we carry around. We don't care what other people think. We don't care. Well, if you don't care about how other people think or see you, how do you expect them to respect you? To even respect even any type of rights you may have, whether it's civil rights or human rights. So now you getting slaughtered every day in these streets at the hands of law enforcement, especially those who are racist in law enforcement, you know, because they don't have respect for you. These other races, you're getting violated, harmed, you know, because they don't respect you. So how you think you gonna ever get respect to the point where people finally will come to the realization that, hey, we can't keep just saying anything or doing anything to black people like that. You see, how do you ever think that you're going to keep getting that you're going to ever get that type of respect in a country like this if you keep, you know, carrying yourselves the way that we carry ourselves as a group of people, especially when we can't even act civil amongst each other. So this is what we're going to keep getting as a result. And this is why I say, why should we live around each other and work around each other when there's that type of situation going on? You know, and I'm not trying to sound divisive when I'm saying this. I'm trying to make a point. All I'm saying is, like someone else would say, look at yourself in the mirror. Stop judging one another. Stop being the first one trying to cast the change that which is in the inner self, finally change for a different direction for once and all. And you know, I just want to say that type of kind of order. Yeah, what type of kind of order? be more, because that's where the border really understand in the state, like I was trying to understand in the state, like I was trying to say before. But if we don't have that respect amongst ourselves, each other, then you got to ask yourself this question: how long would that last if it ain't no real order being put in place for our civility? You know? And so, with that said, like I was going to say before, was that I want to just say that I'm not going to ramble on, even though the brother told me I got the platform. So for now, I'm going to just digress and pass it back over to him and let him have the mic.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Glad that you come here and bring us this message today. Your topic was, I'm gonna paraphrase, something to black folks. I'm talking like I'm not one of them. Should we live around? should we live around each other? You know, should we live and work around each other? I want to bring to the platform our brother, the Myth Detector. Can you hear us, brother?
Yeah, I can hear y'all. How's the volume on my end? Can y'all hear me?
Oh, yeah, I hear you just fine on my end. I hear you just fine.
All right.
Did you hear any of the conversation so far, brother?
No, I just briefly tuned in. I saw the title. I can't really get a complete context of what y'all been talking about. I just see the title and just dropped in a couple minutes ago.
Okay, well, just based on that thought, I was going to throw my little 2 cents in. If you want to just let me say what I need to say, or did you already have something that you want to talk about as far as this topic is concerned? Do you have something different that you want to talk about?
No. Not really. You can go ahead and I'll just go off of you.
Okay. All right. So again, we want to welcome another brother to the panel, our friend, the Myth Detector. And for those who have not subscribed to this channel, make sure that you do subscribe to that brother's channel. He brings us some real stuff. He detects the myth, exposes the myth and the falsehood. And it hurts because a lot of us already thought that we had the truth. And so since we already know, nobody can't tell us nothing. That's one of our main problems. I already know. No, you believe. You don't know. And you even say out of your own mouth that you believe. You don't say that you know. Anything influenced Islam made it very clear. There was some things they actually knew. There was a difference. And on the back of the Muhammad Speaks, Elijah Muhammad said, we believe that Wallace Farad Muhammad, or they call him Master Farad Muhammad, came to us July 4th, 19th. We believe that. They don't know that. Then there's a whole long list of things the Muslims believe. Then when you become a member of the nation, they teach you the actual facts. And really, you don't really get a lot of pushback on the actual facts. It's the belief that you claim to be knowledge that's the problem. Truth hurts. That's why a lot of people don't go to the hospital. They don't go to the doctor because they don't want to know the truth. They don't want to hear I got cancer. They don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that they have something wrong with them. That's why they don't go. That's why you don't want to take your car to the shop. You hear this knocking. Something is wrong with your car, but you don't want to take your car to the shop because it might be something that might cost you thousands of dollars You rather just run the car to the ground and get stranded in the middle of the highway. We don't want and don't like the truth because it hurts. Especially if you thought that you already think that you know, and we don't know. And a lot of us don't want to know. We just caught up in emotion over something that sound good. Sound good did not get me out of my situation, sounding good. Because I sounded very, very good. And those who listened to me sounding good was laughing because they know damn well that's not going to get me out of my situation. It took real knowledge, not my belief. I had to have faith and belief in myself, but I had to find the proper knowledge in order to work my situation. Folks, that's your business. I don't care. People have to do what they feel they have to do. So if you feel you went to the white neighborhood to make you feel better, so be it. I could care less. Now me, for most of my life, I've always lived in the black community, the soul community. I grew up in a black community. That's all I ever knew for years and years and years. I don't know nothing. I've always been around black people, soul brothers and sisters. That's all I've ever known. I don't know about these mixed communities. I didn't know anything about these mixed communities and things of this nature. I don't know anything about that. So that's all I ever knew. But as I got older, I remember the first time I went to New York when I got older, and we visited my relatives there, and they had to put on all these locks when we go in and out the door. You gotta lock up like you're in jail. They got all these locks, lock the windows all up. The door is actually made out of steel. I'm like, I wasn't used to nothing like that. I wasn't used to nothing like that. But that's how they live in the city. And they live in New York in a mixed community. You have everybody there. A lot of us know how New York City is. It's a very, very mixed community. But that's how you have to live there. Lock your car, lock up your house, lock up your dog. You got it because folks will steal, folks will hurt you. That's how you do live. I don't know how they live. I don't know how people live that way. You got to be all locked up like that. I'm used to grow up in a community where we never locked the door. The door was always open and you had a screen door to keep out the mosquitoes and the flies. That's how I was raised for years and years and years. I don't know nothing about locking everything up. But that's how a lot of us live, and we've been living that way all our lives. We never lived in a community where you didn't lock nothing up. When people come to your house and you wasn't there or nobody answered, they just went away. They didn't open the door and come in your house. Folks just did not do that. That's what I'm used to for years and years and years. Only recently as an adult, you gotta lock your door, lock your car, lock up your dog. You gotta do all these things because they don't have that kind of respect for others. And they will come in your house and they will do things. They will steal. They will hurt you. The easier you make it for them. So I'm not used to that. The worst I ever lived when I lived in Jackson, Mississippi for a while. And every time I turned around, they was breaking in my car. I've never experienced that before. I've never experienced that type of thing before. So I don't blame nobody and I don't condemn nobody. Like I heard Dr. Umar Johnson told this man he don't have the right to move his family to a place where it's more peaceful or better, whatever, and you moving away from the black people and blah blah. Hell yeah, you should. If black people shooting guns and got their dogs running loose, biting folks or whatever, any kind of dangerous place. Common sense tell you, I got to get the hell out of here. Who is going to go to a store and you know there might be a shooting? People not controlling their children. They might throw a can of soup at your head. Nobody want to be in that type of environment. You want to go to a place where you can live in peace. As peaceful as can be. You don't want to go to a place that's known. You don't want to live there. Common sense. Even Caucasian people. If these Caucasian people are violent, meth heads and crazy, they're going to leave them. So how are we going to condemn somebody? The problem is not the neighborhood. The problem is the people in the neighborhood. And if you want black folks to stay with black folks, then we have to take control of our neighborhood. We have to take control of the places that we live and make them the way that we want them. If not, then they're going to disintegrate. And we don't have that power. We don't have that control. Matter of fact, we don't want that kind of control. Because on this platform, we talk about the Mississippi campaign, talk about taking control of a state. Oh, we going to get your ass together or you going to get out. Oh, ain't nobody going to force you out. You're not going to be able to deal with the rules. You're going to leave on your own. Because you ain't never been around righteous people before. Take your dope dealing, drunk ass on somewhere. Go somewhere else where they will tolerate you. No, we don't want to put black folks in jail. If we take control, but that's where your ass going to be. In fact, transfer you to a state where it's more suitable for your behavior. Because we don't do that here. So, of course, people want to come here because it's peaceful. Anybody that want peace, I want to go to there. They keep their place together. I want to go to a more, I want to be able to live my life a little bit. You can't stop violence because the most peaceful person can be. You put that on the poor. Rich folks do drugs too. Why you think Diddy is in trouble? But a lot of them, they get out of their crimes because of their money, because of their status. That's why you don't see them all locked up. Like Justin, what's his name? Justin Timberlake, whatever, Lake or whatever his name is. He was caught drunk driving, got his charges down to a non-traffic offense. What? Are you serious? So that's the only difference. Hell, I'm watching movies on TV, real life stories, rich people. But they put all this like only poor people is doing this and that and that. I'm watching stories. Wealthy teenagers don't have nothing else to do, so they said, let's go out and see how many people we can kill. I wonder how I feel to kill people. This is rich teenagers. And if they're not doing that, they doing these ecstasy and these other drugs a lot of us don't deal with, but they do. And the Mexicans know they do it because the Mexicans killing themselves to get these folks their drugs. So I don't blame nobody if they want to live. Now, personally, me, I would rather, just like the sister said, shout out to Sister Mary in the chat room, I would rather live around my own. It's natural to be around your own. And within the last few years, I haven't lived in the black community. I've lived like in a mixed type of community. And I had problems with white folks. You have problems with black people. But see, that's something, when people are foul, you're not going to escape that. I'm in my house minding my own business and trouble can come to you. I don't care how peacefully you are. How goody two-shoes you think you are. I'm living in the community. The trouble come to me. I didn't go out looking for no trouble. I'm in my house and it come to me in my house. The white folks messing with me. And when black folks get caught up, they don't want to talk about that. I was watching a video a few hours ago about this brother and sister. They moved to Montana. We got 76 acres. I wonder if the white folks won't bother us. Wow, okay, you want to get away from the black folks, you want to get away from the city or whatever. Now you're in Montana because you think it's supposed to be peaceful, but now you worried because it hasn't happened, but you worried about, I wonder what the white folks think, I wonder what they're going to do. A stressful life. We cannot run away from violence in America. It don't make no difference where you go. Wherever there's people at, there's a probability that you can get hurt. You cannot escape it. The celebrities don't escape it. Nobody escapes it. What was her name? Nancy Pelosi, a big shot lawmaker. Somebody was able to scale the fence or do whatever and shot her husband. Bill Cosby's son, murdered. May he rest in peace. Ennis Cosby. Will Smith pulled over by racist police officers. We cannot escape these things. You might feel better. You have people, I don't know how they do it, but these folks stalk celebrities and they scale the fence, they end up in the house. What was his name? One of the Beatles. George Harrison, before he died. Somebody broke into his house. A Beatle. And what's his name? John Lennon was murdered on the street in New York. So these are things we cannot escape. You feel better when you move to a safe place or whatever. We feel better, but that's just something that we really cannot escape. But one thing, soul brothers and sisters can do, which they don't want to do, I say take control of a state, and then you can put those things into motion so that it can be your safe haven and sanctuary. So you can be the example to show all these other suckers, this is how civilized people are supposed to live. But in order to create that, there's a lot of things that you gotta let go. And I'm glad that many of them do not embrace the Mississippi campaign because they're not the material that you need in order to create this new reality. So it's good that you are right where you belong, with the foul. You're foul and you belong right here because you're foul. And until you change, you're not going to be able to create nothing better. I don't care who you vote for. You can vote for Kamala Harris. You can vote for Trump. You can vote for Donald Duck. Your situation is not going to change. Only thing you're going to get is a false sense of relief. Let me say this. I'm going to turn the mic over to our brother, the myth detector. Like I said, it's natural to be with your own kind. We even did it in school. Because as I grew up, we began to mix. We began to go to these segregated schools or whatever. And if you notice, a lot of the white children was with the Caucasian children, black folks with the black folk, and then we had other categories. The misfit children. That's where I was at. I was black. Black children didn't like me. I was too much of a nerd. I probably was too black. So you had the misfit children. If you was fat, you was a misfit. Now, fat is not being a misfit because the whole country is suffering from obesity. So fat is not being a misfit no more. But if you was fat, I didn't know what gay was. There was a gay brother. If you was misfit, nobody wanted you. The black people didn't want you. The white folks didn't want you. Whatever, you end up, there was the misfit category. I was in the misfit category. So, that's where I stand. So I don't know nothing about. Only thing I can say, if you want a better place, you cannot run and hide. I feel better around I was a truck driver. And whenever I went all across the country, I still felt better around black folks on the black side of town. I slept with one eye open because I don't trust your happy ass. And they even tell you, on the black side of town, bruh, you know. I think it was Nebraska. Let's see, Lincoln, Nebraska, Omaha. I think I was in Omaha, on the black side of town. And those folks was up all night. I had to deliver the next morning. Them people kept me all night. They came knocking on the door. What you doing here? You want to buy this? I had to get my happy ass up, take my truck, and go park out on the highway. Because these people think you're a truck driver, and they wonder what you got or whatever, and I'm like, this don't feel safe. I couldn't sleep. So I had to leave. Just went out on the highway. I take my chances with the wolves and the coyotes out on the side of the highway. But that's just life. That's just life. Now, like I told you, I was raised in the black community basically all my life. And where I grew up didn't have any real problems until the crack epidemic of the 80s. And it got sort of wild. And there was a murder that happened that made, state news. I don't know if it made national news, but it was like 4 people was murdered and some kind of drug deal gone bad. But after that happened, most of the young people left, and basically where I was raised is nothing but a retirement home. Nothing but a bunch of elderly, mostly elderly people. That's all who's left. Nice, quiet people there now. Because you don't expect a whole lot of activity from, older people like myself or older. And I couldn't find an apartment. I was doing my best. I wanted to try to find an apartment there. I couldn't find no apartment. But it's a nice place. And there are many nice places like that. Stay away from the young folks. They're the ones that got the energy to do stupid stuff. And they are functional illiterates. They are the ones doing it. So wherever you go, if there's young folks like that, you in trouble anyway. Go live around the old people. And not to say that they don't cause trouble, because I done seen, there have been stories, old folks was getting down, shooting at each other. I'm like, that don't make no sense. I'm done. I saw a story, old folks throwing down, shooting at each other. I'm like, what the hell? You know it's over. But I want to say this. I wanted to talk to y'all about Dr. Umar. Give you an update on Dr. Umar. Dr. Umar has yet to reply to our request that he would accept monies to promote our Operation Exodus Mississippi proposal. But I'm not shocked. This is how, as long as we're giving him money to benefit him and praise him, no problem. No, I'm going to give you some money so that you praise us, so that you promote us. They don't want to do that. I don't need your money like that. But see, the thing about this also is, a lot of these brothers and sisters, so-called brothers and sisters, they don't even have the maturity. They don't. At this time, I'm not interested in your offer. I wish you money. Happy Pan-Africanism and all this old bullcrap. I have the text. So y'all know I don't lie about nothing, Because I pull out the receipts. I am the receipt king. I have no reason to lie about nothing. When I first contact him, happy Pan-Africanism, whatever the crap he's talking about, then he sent this email how he want to get paid. But then when I talk about I request that you promote this proposal that we have here, he gone silent. The minimum you can do is say, at this time, I'm not really interested. I wish you the best in your endeavors. Habara Ghani, whatever that stuff. That's the proper, respectful thing to do. These the same people talking, I love black people. I love my black people. They the same one. I've sent many brothers and sisters emails. The minimum you can do is just say, I'm not interested. I hope that you are successful in your endeavors. That's the least you can do. These folks not respectful. These folks are out for themselves. If they think they're going to get something about it, the emails never stop. The phone calls never stop. When I got sick, people that didn't even know me, because you know my email and my phone number is public, I started getting emails and phone calls from people trying to sell me holistic medicine for my cancer diagnosis. But then I called them and asked them about the Mississippi campaign. The email stopped. The phone call stopped. Because I don't need your holistic medicine. And that was what? That was 4 years ago. Do I look like I need your holistic medicine? Because I told them, doctors, do it look like I need your chemotherapy and your radiation therapy? Do it look like I need it? But it goes back to what we was talking about yesterday on the live stream. Well, not live stream, on the premiere. I made a video earlier. It goes back to what Dr. Neely Fuller Jr. said. Since black people cannot get along, and not only black folks, anybody, when you see that you're not getting along, leave each other, go away, don't bother. On our platform, I've had many people come here pretending to be my brother. Now you know what I am. Some of these folks have known what I am, what I represent for years. But you're going to come here, and I guess I'm supposed to change my ways, and I'm supposed to accept your ideology or whatever, because I'm your brother. That don't change. I'm not going to change who I am in order so you can feel good about your belief, your ideology, because you don't like what I got to say about it. That's your personal problem. But you're going to come here and fake the funk like you like somebody or you can be so. No, you can't do that. Because it's all about you. It's always about you. You don't give a damn about nobody else. It's about getting these folks on your slave plantation. That's what it's about. And the root of it is we're childish.